Hey guys, this is the last chapter before we're done with this. So we're learning about spheres in 6-10. Okay? Remember, it's very important for us to remember all of these different formulas, and the same goes with spheres. The main thing that you guys need to know is that we have a sphere, which is a circular object. It's basically like a tennis ball or a basketball. The center is the very middle of that sphere, and from the center to the edge is the radius. Okay, so that radius goes all the way around this circle. Okay, now if we look at a hemisphere, hemi means half, so it's half of the sphere. The green dotted line is called the great circle. So you guys are going to need to know that, the great circle. Okay, so you guys should already know what the radius is. The great circle is the distance around when you cut the sphere in half. Alright, now the formula for a sphere is volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, pi r cubed. So the main thing you need to know is what is the radius. So in this case, for our example here, we need to ask yourself, what is the radius? Well, the radius is 3. So then we're going to do volume is equal to 4/3 pi and then 3 cubed. Okay, so the volume is going to equal to 4/3 pi and then 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. And then you would keep multiplying it. You would do 27 times 4, volume is equal to 108 over 3 pi, and then so forth. Okay, so the main thing we need to remember is volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. So for example, it says find the volume of a sphere with the radius of 6 in both in terms of pi and to the nearest 10th. So we need to find it in terms of pi, and then we also have to do it when it's 3.14. So volume is equal to, and always rewrite the equation at the beginning. 4/3 pi is equal to 4/3 pi. Oh, you remember what I said? Always write down what is the radius. The radius is 6 feet. So 4/3 pi 6 cubed. And then we get 6 cubed to be 216. Okay, now we can do, okay, so at this point, the way that we want to do the math is we want to do 4/3 times 216 over 1. So 216 over times 4 is 864. 864 divided by 3 pi, and that's going to get 864 divided by 3 gets us 288 pi. That's one answer. The other one we have to multiply by 3.14, and it says round to the nearest 10th place. If you round it to the nearest 10th place, we're going to get 904.32 feet cubed. This one should also be feet cubed. Okay, so the main thing you need to know is what is the volume equation for a sphere. The next equation that we need to know is the surface area of a sphere. For the surface area of a sphere, all we need to know is 4 pi r squared. Okay, 4 pi r squared. So all we need to know again is the radius. It's very similar to our volume equation, so be careful. In this case, the radius is 2, so surface area is 4 pi 2 squared, which is 4 pi times 4. 4 times 4 is 16 pi, or we can say 16 times 3.14, which is 50.24 units squared. Here is our next example. It says find the surface area in both terms of pi and to the nearest 10th. So we need two answers again. And this time our radius is 4 millimeters. So surface area is 4 pi r squared, and the radius is 4 millimeters. So 4 pi 4 squared, 4 pi times 16. Then you do 16 times 4. So you get 64 pi millimeters squared, or, so this is one answer, 64 times 3.14 is 200.96, so it's going to actually be 201 millimeters squared. So those are your two answers. Okay, the main thing we need to know are the two equations. Okay, so go ahead and make sure you guys do the exit slip, and please make sure you hit turn in and go ahead and make sure you guys really try those problems as best as possible. Okay, don't just skim over it, but really try your best. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.